All right, here's my biggest takeaway. From Celtics 111, Lakers 101 in Boston, nobody in the National Basketball Association gives Luka Doncic more trouble than JAYLEN Brown does. You saw it in the finals last year. Nobody torments Luka, bullies Luka, makes him look more hapless and overmatched than JAYLEN Brown. Tonight, JAYLEN Brown got a little help here and there from Al Horford, who plays Luka more with his brains than maybe his body in his 18th year in the league. But JAYLEN Brown did it both ways tonight on defense and then on offense, because when Luka lucked in a three to cut it to 4, what time was that? 4:36 left in the game. It was a 4-point game. Guess who came right back to the other end and said, "Luck this, Luka. Suck on this, Luka." JAYLEN Brown ripped it clean, and it was not lucky from 3, and that made it a 7-point game that slowly but surely down the stretch expanded to 11. JAYLEN Brown makes the biggest shots. I say it again and again. The most valuable Celtic is JAYLEN Brown, not Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum had 40 points tonight. He played the best half, given how well the Lakers have been playing, the number one defense in basketball. He played the best first half I've ever seen him play with 22, and he wound up with 40, and still the star of the night, the difference maker of the night for the Boston Celtics was JAYLEN Brown, still underpaid, still undervalued, still underpublicized, still underappreciated. Now back to Luka. Now we got 2 big injury questions to deal with. Luka is favoring his back the whole night. Favoring it even in the warm-ups. Luka's flopping all over the floor. Luka's complaining after every ball that's stolen from him. And he flat out got bullied because the referees let Boston play. The referees weren't buying any of Luka's baloney. This was a game for grown men. The referees let them play like grown men. And Luka is still such a crybaby. He's obviously a savant of a scorer, a genius of a scorer. I still don't even know how he does it. He can't jump, not that quick. Just figures it out. He's a little heavy, a little paunchy. I'm sure that puts a lot of strain on his back. You got to get in better shape. It's usually the number one cause of back pain is your belly. It pulls the back, the low back down, and you constantly have trouble with it. I'm sure Luka does. Was it debilitating? Did it take away from the game? Did it handicap Luka in the game? I don't know. Now you're asking me. My whole career I've dealt with. I just wish I had some kind of machine. Maybe somebody will invent a machine. I could put my hand in it and feel what Luka felt for about 30 seconds with his back, and I'd say, that's nothing.
So let me just stop this video real fast. Do y'all think that Skip Bayless is too harsh on Luka? Because I think that Skip Bayless is spinning facts right now. So let's get back to the clip.
Or I'd say, God, how did he even suck it up and play tonight? I don't know. He looked fine for when he had the ball in his hands. He was doing Luka things. He's never, again, that explosive. So I'm not going to give him a pass and a break because he's having back trouble. I have no earthly idea about that. It just looked like he got bullied mostly by JAYLEN Brown. It just looked like, and he had 5 turnovers, which felt like, didn't it feel like 10 tonight? It just seemed like he was having a hard time even getting the ball up the court against JAYLEN Brown. He had 5 turnovers. He wound up shooting 11 for 22, 5 of 10 from 3 with the one lucked in. Not bad, but the 5 turnovers, it just felt like that they fell into such a hole against Boston because Luka couldn't get the ball up the court, and then Luka couldn't get the ball through the lane to the rack until late. He did a lot of his damage late when the game was teetering on being out of hand. Which brings me to LeBron James. So LeBron was gone right around the 6-minute mark. And again, at 5:06 and at 4:36, the game was cut to 4 points. I think LeBron was gone. They said 6 minutes on the telecast. It looked like about 5:30 or so to me. that he was gone with what was announced as a groin pull. I have no idea. He was struggling a little bit when we saw him go up the tunnel. I don't know. The cynic in me, the skeptic in me, wonders if he just had enough and didn't want to participate in what could be a close game, because the Celtics all year, you saw what happened against Cleveland in Boston. They just have a hard time finishing games, closing out games, and I don't know why. I think it's because they look too much to Jason Tatum down the stretch. They should lean more on Jaylen Brown, but they tend to go cold down the stretch with big leads and look up and say, oh my God, it's a 4-point game. And finally, Jaylen Brown said, that's enough tonight. Not the Lakers, not in our house, not on national television. Nope, nope, nope. Boom, 3. And that was basically dagger, game over. Okay, so LeBron tonight was 0 of 6 from 3, and they were LeBricks. They weren't even close. He just didn't have it from 3, and that's what I don't love about the Lakers is Luka and LeBron can go so cold from 3. Their career stats would tell you I'm being nice about this, subpar 3-point shooters that you can't trust, especially in bigger games and through playoff stretches. You'll get hot games like the previous game here and there, but at Boston, weirdly, Boston had a bad night from 3 because the Lakers do play defense at a very high level. And I liked what Jared Vanderbilt did. I liked what Jordan Goodwin did coming off the bench. I liked the way LeBron played defense. I liked the way everybody hustled on the perimeter. Their strategy against lesser teams than Boston is just let the worst shooters shoot. We'll guard the good ones, but against Boston, there aren't any bad ones.
All right, y'all. So there you have it. That was Skip Bayless. And, first of all, I want to thank you so much for tapping into my channel. I appreciate y'all so much. And we were speaking on, Jaylen Brown and Luka Doncic facing each other. And sometimes I get the feeling that Skip Bayless, he doesn't like Luka. I'm not sure, but that's, the feeling that I get sometimes. And he basically said that on the court, Jaylen Brown was basically bullying Luka. Luka had a hard time playing against Jaylen Brown because, let's be honest, Jaylen Brown's athleticism is, out of this world. And to compare Luka, versus Jaylen Brown is, even though Luka is a great player, but he can't compare. He's not on the same level as Jaylen Brown. Luka relies heavily on craftiness and change of pace rather than quickness. And that is why it's so hard for him to play, against Jaylen, because Jaylen is quick. He has speed. And he's definitely physically superior to Luka Doncic. So when it comes to Luka Doncic playing against Jaylen Brown, I think that Skip Bayless and me are on the same page. And I also got to say that it's nice to see Skip Bayless still commenting on sports, even though he quit, his previous sports show. And even though a lot of people don't like Skip Bayless, you have to be honest, because Skip Bayless, he has helped a lot of brothers get into the sports analyst world. For example, Shannon Sharpe. The executives, they didn't want Shannon Sharpe, but Skip Bayless said, I want to be, commenting sports alongside with Shannon Sharpe. So you have to respect that. So let me know what you think about this. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next videos.